and welcome to TWF, Friday Night Smackdown. I, Corey Graves, Renee Young, and Wade Barrett here. And today on Friday Night Smackdown, we're going to have the TWF 24/7 winnings on stake here today. When we see Xia Li, the TWF 24/7 fighter, here today on Friday Night Smackdown, Corey Graves says. You got that right, Renee Young says. Xia Li is the two-time TWF 24/7 fighter, and she's only lost it one time, and she doesn't go like losing it ever again, Renee Young says. And keep in mind, and also keep in mind that Xia Li has the only one that's made a short on the TWF Euro fairway, talking about how she wants to be a TWF heavyweight, TWF 24/7 fighter forever. But as we know, nothing in life ever goes on forever. You might say that, but it never truly happens. And it never does seem to happen that way. It never seems to go like that, Wade Barrett says. And I wonder who the man or the woman who's going to be fighting Xia Li here today on Friday Night Smackdown, Wade Barrett says. Well, we shall see, Corey Graves says, who that man or woman is going to be. Because in a toy wrestling gathering, men and women can fight each other. Maybe you don't see that in two skilled wrestling businesses, since men tend to be stronger than women, and even if the man and woman have learned how to do the wrestling holds the same way and wrestle the same way, it doesn't take away that strength thing. Corey Graves says, you got that right, Renee Young says. Now we're going to go to the ring now, because I think we know we're going to go to the ring now, Renee Young says, because we believe we got Xia Li coming to the ring now. Well, I understand there are some folks that are like, oh, well, didn't you get let go or fired earlier this year, from WWE, which is owned by TKO, which is owned by Endeavor Undertake? Yeah, well, that was True Life, and this is toy wrestling. And I do not, and there is no man or woman who is mighty enough or strong enough to take away my TWF 24/7 winnings. That when WWE had it from 2009 between FYL to 2022 YL, everyone bitched and ranted about it. Oh, it was the worstest winnings ever, the worstest strap ever, the worstest booking ever. Oh, it's going to do nothing to help Raw and help Alone Tonight Raw and Friday Night Smackdown NXT. Oh, no one's going to want to go for it. And yeah, that was their thought, that was their belief, their take. And I'll tell you why a lot of you folks were angered over it. You folks thought that it was going to be the WWE hard metal winnings that ran from between 98 YL until 2002 YL. So yeah. Well, but that was your forgiveness. Well, the TWF 24/7 winnings doesn't have to live up to what some folks believe or not. And at the end of the day, there's no man or woman who's mighty enough to beat me. And who the fuck are you? I am Gold Dust. And let me tell you something. You seem to think that there is no man or woman strong enough or mighty enough to fight you. Let me tell you something. I've won the TWF hard middle. I won the TWF 24/7 winnings many times. Hell, I even won the TWF light heavyweight winnings more than once. And let me also go on the list to tell you that I think I could take it off of you. So it's the man who wants everyone to think he's unstraight, so he's straight. The man who likes to paint himself up like he thinks he's some kind of show player. A man who, you know, supposedly somehow never won the heavyweight winnings and none of the wrestling businesses he was ever in. Yeah, you were in WCW at least 2 times. Never won the big one there. You were in WF and WE sundriest times. TNAW sundriest times. AEW didn't win shit. And if you think that I'm going to wrestle you so you can do some kind of weird, odd thing to make everyone think that you're unstraight when you're straight, I ain't playing the unstraight bullshit games. Well, Xia Li looks like she doesn't want to wrestle or fight Goldust on the grounds that Goldust will, you know, plays mind games, Corey Graves says, to make folks think one thing, but it's truly another. Xia Li, why don't you don't want to wrestle him? I have nothing, see, it had nothing to do with being straight or unstraight. It's him if he's going to play his bullshit mind games. You know, like the breathing bullshit. You know, the kick between the legs. A bunch of other shit. Yeah, Xia Li. We all know about Goldust or Black Rain or Seven or Dustin Rhodes. We know how he is. But look, if you don't wrestle him or fight him, you're going to yield up your TWF 24/7 winnings or strap. Do you want that? No. Now get back in there. You bitch. Well, it looks like Astronema Carone laid down the law on the oversight, and it looks like Xia Li has to fight Goldust or wrestle Goldust either if she doesn't like it or not, Corey Graves says. Renee Young says someone might look at that and think that she's only, she's doing that because she's against the self that he plays. But I really think I just think that she just doesn't want to wrestle someone like Goldust or Black Rain or Seven or whatever, or Dustin Rhodes, whatever you want to call him. Renee Young says, well, that could be all true, Wade Barrett says. She might want nothing to do with him because of his, unstraight mind games that he likes to play on folks. That he's done it to a lot of folks. Why? Who knows? Maybe because he thinks it'll give him an upper hand on them? I don't know. Wade Barrett says, this match is for the TWF 24/7 winnings. First, he is Goldust. And he is the TWF, she's a TWF 24/7 fighter, Xia Li. First off, Wade Barrett says, we first had Goldust. He was that small, stretchable one that Karis Toys made. Then followed by the other one that Jax made before we got this one. Remember back when he had tape around his neck holding his head together? Oh, Xia Li just knocked down Goldust like that. And wakefulness made the Fight Lord fall down too. And Goldust is going to have to watch out for Xia Li and her legs. She's been known to beat up sundriest women during her time on WWE, first on NXT, then on Smackdown, and then on Raw before she was let go, Corey Graves says. Well, it doesn't include all the things she did on main event or main show, too. And Xia Li right now is just, having her way with Goldust, or Seven, or Black Rain, or whatever self that you know him, or Dustin Rhodes, whatever self you know him greater as. And Xia Li went, all right, head first right into the ring steeple, Corey Graves said. Here comes the curtain call, or the sheet call. His first hold he did in his two-diff run in WWF. 9 between 95 while to 9 between 99 while, Renee Young says. Yeah, Wade Barrett said he did one called the Oscar, one called the Shattered Dreams he started doing towards the end of his two-diff run, Wade Barrett says. Then he was doing some other holds before that too, Wade Barrett said. You think that's going to win? Going to win? 1, 2, and only a kick out. Well, looks like that didn't work. Now Goldust is putting her in the side now. He's going to do the other hold he started doing towards the end of his two-diff run in WWF, the Shattered Dreams. And if he does that, the match will be thrown out. The Fight Lord telling him, you want to throw the match out? Hey! Ding, 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 ding. He threw the match out. Here is your winner by a reckoning out, by a throw out, and still the TWF 24/7 fighter, Xia Li. And now Goldust and the Fight Lord having some kind of rile about how Goldust thought that the 24/7 winnings had the same oversight as the hard middle fightings. And the Fight Lord telling him that the 24/7 winnings didn't have the same oversight except it was 24/7. And anyone could go for it if they wanted to take anyone up on it. And now Goldust doesn't understand that. Now he's coming over again. Oh, Xia Li just knocked him right down with her kick. Well, leave it to Goldust to get misled. Leave it to Goldust to get misled. Over what oversight? The 24/7 winnings has the 24/7, 24 span and 7 days a week oversight on the winnings, but it can still be thrown out, for a reckoning out or a throw out, which is rare, but it can be done. At least if it was a one-on-one match, Corey Graves says. You got that right, Renee Young says. I guess Goldust may have thought that they were fighting under the 24/7 oversight, where all of that could go. Renee Young says. To tell you the truth, Renee, I don't know how Goldust got misled. I don't know, and I really don't care. He made the choosing. The match got thrown out, and Xia Li is still the TWF 24/7 fighter for another day. Well, Tony Schiavone now is hopefully going to be talking with Goldust and learn about what happened. Alright, thank you Corey Graves and Renee Young on me talking with Goldust, or Seven, or Black Rain, or Dustin Rhodes, as he was called. And Goldust, what happened out there? I don't know. I got misled there, Tony. I thought we were fighting under the 24/7 oversight, which meant there were no throw-outs and no reckoning outs. Yeah, but it was a one-on-one match, Goldust, so it wasn't under the 24/7 oversight. Well, I just wanted to show Xia Li that I am man enough to take that winnings off of her. So that's why you did it? That's why you had your match thrown out? No, that wasn't my goal to get the match thrown out. Sadly, I don't know what happened, but Xia Li just rubs me the wrong way. Eye straight, Yes, I play Goldust, and Goldust I like to play mind games. Hell, when I was 7 I got to play mind games, but it got dropped. When I was Black Rain it was all about the mind games too. And as Dustin Rhodes it was all about the love of skilled wrestling. So, you're telling me that it was a mind game that you were playing on Xia Li. Take it the way you want to take it. Xia Li is only the TWF 24/7 fighter since I made that mistake. But I will not make that mistake again. And Xia Li will not forget the name of Goldust. Yes, a lot of men and women have not forgotten the ring name of Goldust, or Seven, or Black Rain. Well, that was my talk with Goldust. Back to you, Corey Graves and Renee Young. Thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Goldust here today on Friday Night Smackdown. And that's all the time we got here for Friday Night Smackdown. Corey Graves, Corey Graves, Renee Young, and Wade Barrett. We hope you like Friday Night Smackdown, and we'll see you tomorrow for Rampage or Ram Crew.